Welcome to the race-by-race preview for Panasonic Cup Day. Paul Lally here with all of the selections, and we get things underway with a 1 o'clock post time, 8 on the turf, and a couple of races on the all-weather also. The first is on the all-weather. It's a Class 5 over the 1650. Fairy Horse raced Wednesday night. Smart Zippang is on the class drop. Not a few wears pacifiers for the first time. Colourful Baron last start winner back in distance, but an extra £6 on his back also. Volcanus raced on Wednesday night. Telecom Bullet minus his shadow roll. Cheek pieces go on. Precision Goal has the cheek pieces off, and Bogos hood off. Pacifiers with cows have been added to him. On to the speed map here, Paul, and it's Precision Goal leading.
Yeah, loves to lead over the 1650 on the all-weather, and I think he can get across easy enough. Colourful Baron, he was right on the pace last time. Did get the race run to suit, though. Spangled Fortune can go forward. Superb Move comes in fresh. Bogos coming onto the surface. Now, we've seen Fairy Horse and Volcanus both run on the weekend, so they've got really quick backups, and not a few. He caught the eye finishing off nicely at his last start.
And here are those two, Fairy Horse and Volcanus, 1,200 metres on the turf through the week. Paul, what about switching back to the all-weather? Volcanus has competed well on it in the past.
He has, and so I'm going to put him in, but I do like Fairy Horse. This horse has been racing over the shorter distances, 1,200. He comes up to 1,650 for the first time on the all-weather. Hasn't raced on the all-weather before, but he's by Churchill, and the 1,650 looks absolutely ideal, and he did catch the eye finishing off strongly. So I think both of them interesting coming back up, but I think they're both going to run well.
That is those two going up in distance as opposed to these ones coming back in trip from the 1,800. This is Colourful Baron. This was a tough win by him because he didn't have too much luck from the draw. Winning turn fades for 8th and Joyful Champion not too far away. But it has been a case for Colourful Baron that the 1,800 has been his favourite all-weather distance.
Yeah, definitely. He hasn't put two together. The thing with him was, on this particular day, he was in the right place. All those horses that were winning were coming in that particular position as well. So he just sat off the pace, and it was a slowish pace, and then he sprinted well. So it was a really nice win from him. But I think this race is going to be run under slightly different conditions, and as such, I'm going to leave him out.
No Colourful Baron for Paul. One more to have a look at. It's a trial by Spangled Fortune, which was very, very impressive. It was 1,200. He goes to the 1,650 metres. Is the distance and his stamina a query for you? Yeah,
definitely. Look, he's a one-time winner at the moment, but as you say, he's only had one over 1,650. He's going to go to the front. He'll be on the pace, but I think he'll probably set it up for something else that I just worry about him over the 1,650. But look, he did nothing wrong in the stroll. Everything was good. Gets the £10 claim, though, so it'll be catch me if you can.
A look at the runners in the first, but you're banking on Wednesday night's form holding up.
I am, actually. I think Fairy Horse up in trip. We've seen Casper do this quite often with a quick backup, and I think he can win. Not a few. Look, he really caught the eye last time. He comes onto the surface for the first time by Japanese bred horse, by Saxon Warrior. He goes in there for second. Volcanus, another backup horse, and Precision Goal. Catch me if you can from the front. He'll be on the front, I think, with Spicy Spangle. 1, 3, 7 and 9. Spangled Fortune, I should say.
There it is, the preview for race number 1 at Sha Tin on Saturday. And race number 2 at Sha Tin on Saturday afternoon is the first of the turf races. It's a Class 4 restricted race. Bear Champ on debut has had 3 trials. We've got Etalon Orr. He's got the best draw he's had in what will be his 4th start over the Sha Tin 1,200, but it's still wide in 9. Lucky Blessing, Patch of Stars, and Rewarding Buddy, and Some Love from Above, and Sonic Pursuit all on debut. Then we go down to the Double Eagle, who's had a stable change, down with Mead Choi, and Cash's Cash has the crossover noseband coming off. Just what you love for your speed map. A stack of first starters.
Yeah, and look, the most raced horse in the race had 3 starts, and that's Cash's Cash and also Etalon Orr. So, look, it's quite variable, but Circuit Jolly led last time and just got beaten. I think he'll go forward again. Lucky Blessing's showing a bit of speed in his trials. Patch of Stars has as well. Look, Northern Fireball, he's gone forward in his races. Sonic Pursuit's drawn wide. He'll need a bit of luck and look for some cover. And Janu Pride, who went well on debut, should get a lovely run.
And we go straight to the jockey of Janu Pride, Nick, with Brenton Abdallah.
Brenton Abdullah, Janu Pride is a ride for you in race 2 come Saturday. It's a restricted race, so we don't have too much form to go on, but the one run your horse had was very good.
Yeah, he handled himself pretty well. He obviously drew a little bit awkward, but he found not a bad spot. Presented to win the race, and it was a line of, 5 or so of them, and he was just beat. So, yeah, I thought he handled himself really well, and he wasn't far off.
Given that he's not a super big horse, he was weighing under 1,000 pounds. I mean, I guess, is he a type that perhaps, felt like he came to hand quite quickly and looked like he was ready to do himself justice early?
Yeah, look, I've had a little bit to do with him. And yeah, he's always been pretty progressive in that regard, as in he's pretty sharp, he's learning quickly. Like I said, he's not a big horse, but he's quite athletic, and yeah, for John to obviously be running him again with a trial in between suggests that he's doing well enough.
I guess it mustn't be forgotten that, the winner especially had 4 runs prior to this race. There were others that had a bit of experience around you, so he certainly had himself well amongst more experienced rivals.
Yeah, for sure. The winner obviously had a few runs, had raced well, won a couple of them now, so you find in those sorts of graded races that those race experience does help. So for him to now have the run on the board, I think he'll take good improvement off it for sure.
The barrier has been very kind to you. Obviously 12 on debut, didn't look overly fair in some respects, but he overcome that. He's got gate 2 this time.
Yeah, perfect draw. Gives him every opportunity to sort of position up somewhere, on pace or just behind the pace, and get a nice running trip, and hopefully we can save our energy for the finish.
On to the first starters file now, Paul, and we start with Lucky Blessing. He has had 4 trials, Brittany Wong and Pierre Rung. They have improved. This is the best of them, where he beats a horse called Cosmic Spurs, who's down to make his debut on Wednesday night.
Yeah, no, you can see him. That's what I was talking about. He's a horse that has shown a bit of pace. He's put himself there. He's 1,031 pounds for his debut here. So, again, not the biggest horse around. He's by microphone, this one, and barrier number 1 for him. So, look, he'll get his opportunity. I haven't got him in. I'm happy just to watch him.
There's Lucky Blessing, one of several first starters in the race. We move on to another couple of them. Dragon Sunrise would shock if he won on what he's done at the trials. Patch of Stars, he's had 5 trials, 3 of them this season, and he beats Euro Rocks by a short head. Had a lovely run in behind the leader until he just popped off the rail turning for home there.
He did. 1163 pounds for Patch of Stars as well. Tongue Tie go on for his debut run. By All Too Hard, this one. Just a little bit of an awkward draw there, barrier number 10, which was put me off him.
Matthew Chadwick takes the ride. Euro Rocks runs later in the program, as does that horse out wide, City Thunder, making ground into 3rd. We do have another one to look at. This is Sonic Pursuit. He's had 3 trials. He's run 2nd behind Fun and Glory, 3rd behind Master of My Universe, and then a 2nd here behind noted trial winner Soaring Bronco, but he's had no luck with barrier draws on debut. Yeah,
barrier 14. Tongue Tie will go on him by Soborg, this one. Look, he's another one that's showing a bit of pace in his trials, but from barrier 14, he'll try and get some cover. He's 1,211 pounds, but the barrier put me off him.
Gee, Soaring Bronco wins some trials.
He does.
Gets to race day and just can't quite get it done, despite usually being in the market. But that's got nothing to do with race number 2, Paul. We need a winner, though.
No, isn't at all. Janu Pride, we'll put him on top. It was a good debut run and he's drawn nicely. So he's on top. Circuit Jolly, look, he's come out of that same race, drawn nicely again in 3. Etlanor, look, he's had the experience. He's got experience under his belt. And it was a really good run 2 starts ago when he was just beaten by Patcha Cosmo, who's come out and won. And then Northern Fireball, another one he likes to go forward. So I'm round all the racehorses, 1, 3, 5 and 13.
Paul with race 2 and Janu Pride to win it. Start number 2 by taking the Class 4 restricted race. Third race is a Class 4, an unrestricted Class 4 event, unlike the second, and this race also over the 1,200. Master Trillion debut winner goes up £6 for it. Euro Rocks now with Dennis Ship, blinkers off, Shadow Roll goes on. First starters, Golden Tronic Mighty, he was you, Master Phoenix. We've got Monarch County with a wideish draw again. Racing Grace comes to Sha Tin turf for the first time. Life of Stone has the cheek pieces off, and Universal Blaze, hood off, blinkers, earplugs and tongue tie all are added. It's like a right-angle triangle here. It sort of goes up on the speed map.
Yeah, everyone wants to get back, actually, in this one. But Patch of Time, look, he went well at his last start. He likes to go forward. Euro Rocks, we saw that trial in the previous race where he went forward. Life of Stone's gone forward in his races. Universal Blaze, Roman Crown. He Was You on debut. He should... it rhymes, doesn't it? He should get a nice enough run there, and the rest generally go back.
Before this descends into further chaos, here's Frankie Law with Nick talking about last start winner Master Trillion.
Frankie, race 3, you're going to saddle a horse by the name of Master Trillion, who was very good on his debut down the straight. He kept on nicely, and that was a pretty good win.
Yes, last start, it's not that strong field, but anyway, he still can win the race. And later on, he can a little bit further. So this time, I just put in 1200. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just sort of as an overall assessment of that debut, I mean, he was doing all his best work late, wasn't he? Was it expected? Did you think coming into that race that he was a chance of a win on debut over 1,000 metres?
When I saw the race not that strong, I already said, because our horse is not that good when he trial, but that race is not that strong. I want to talk to the owner. Maybe we can got some chance. But anyway, he win the race, and so really happy. And now we just go up to 1200. Maybe later on he can go a little bit further. Yeah.
Breeding would certainly suggest that you've gone up to 1200. He's also gone up to Chung Fa and had a trial there. How has he benefited from the break in Chung Fa?
Yes, he looks good. Only a little bit problem. The jockeys tell me at the turns a little bit hanging out. So that's why I changed the bit for him. Change the locking bit. I hope then and can help the horse to turn. Yeah.
Frankie, if this was a 1,000-metre race, barrier 13 would be a good barrier. Sadly, it's not. It's 1,200. I guess that is the negative, really.
Yes, of course. 1,200, and you get the outside draw a lot easy for the horse and also for the jockeys. I think Derek will try to. If you can just jump, okay, midfield's okay. I think Derek will make the decision for this horse. Yeah.
Frankie, these are the owners that had Master 8, aren't they? I mean, so it looks like they might have another nice horse, actually.
Yes, but Master 8 is a big horse. This one just not that big than Master 8. But anyway, he still can win for the owners. I think it's good.
Yeah, kicked off with a perfect start, 1 for 1 in Hong Kong for Master Trillion. He's going to have to beat horses such as these ones, Paul. Patch of Time, winning Life of Stone. He's on the outside but fades, and Monarch County wasn't a bad run. He'll strip fitter for this performance too.
Yeah, I quite like him. Hopefully he comes up a bit of a price, Monarch County, as well, because he finished off really strongly. He's drawn 12 once again. Hugh Bowman sticks with him. You can see him finishing off really nicely here. So with this experience under his belt, look, I think he's definitely a chance in the race. And also Patch of Time. I mean, he won really nicely as well. So I think both these two horses go in. But I did like the run from Monarch County.
He's finishing about midfield from that whitish draw that he had. Some trial form now. And we start with Roman Crown, who's had the 4 starts, and he just doesn't get it together on race day at this stage. But you get back to the trials and he does things like this.
Yeah, he's won a couple of trials now, isn't he? And he's been downgraded last time, but he did nothing when he got into Class 4 for the first time. Interesting booking with Zach Purton aboard for Pierre. Thought he was pushed out a little bit in this trial. Look, I'm happy to watch him in this particular race. I didn't put him in then.
He is out, is Roman Crown. Plenty of first starters. We're just going to focus on this one. Master Phoenix, who's had 3 trials, quite won 6th in his first one. Then an 8th, he was pushed along behind Do Your Part. He's certainly improved here to run 3rd behind Blue Baron, who trolled again on Friday morning at Chung Fa.
I like this troll. I'm going to put him in on a very minor line. 11, 19 pounds. Blinkers on for his debut run. There's some intent there with the tongue tie as well. Just drawn awkwardly in barrier 11, but he did attack the line nicely. So I think there is ability there for this horse.
He's just got better and better leading up to his first start on Saturday afternoon. But what is your top 4?
Going to go with the 9 on top here. So he goes on top, which is Monarch County. Get Back, run on strongly. Patch of Time. City Thunder. Now he trialled a lot better. He's going to be a big price, this horse. So I wanted to include him and also the first starter, Master Phoenix. 9, 12, 3 and 8.
And that is the preview for race number 3. It is the first leg of the early treble. Race number 4, and this is the distance race on the program. It is the running of the Panasonic Smart Lock Handicap, and Charity Gain steps up to 2,000 metres with an extra £10 on his back after an impressive win last time. Silver King, the hood goes back on. Billionaire Secret's a 2-time course and distance winner. Affordable has the cheek pieces off and the blinkers going back on. Jubilation gets a good draw. We've got Management Folks first up with the blinkers off, and Arthur's Kingdom down the bottom. He switches across from recent racing over at Happy Valley, where he's been leading over there too, Paul.
Yeah, he's led his last 3 or 4 starts. He's drawn 1. I think he's going to lead into that first bend. It's a really short run to that first bend. Jubilation's drawn nicely. I think he can slot in as well. Silver King, I think it looks tough for Storm Winner though. I know he's only drawn 7, but there's a lot of pace underneath him, and he's going to try and get across, I think, before that first bend. He just might struggle a little bit.
Winning form around Charity Gain. He was very impressive, Paul, winning this race at Happy Valley last time. He gets to the outside and an extra 200 metres. Arthur's Kingdom, well, Class 5 became his friend because he's just been in super form since he made that drop in grade.
Yeah, wasn't he? And look, I think he can win Arthur's Kingdom. I think he can lead all the way from the inside. Charity Gain goes in as well, but he is up £10, so he has got that increase in weight. But the way he won, he did win. He probably deserves it, doesn't he?
He did. He absolutely smacked them at the end there, did Charity Gain. Happy Hero, now he doesn't win out of turn. However, he is unbeaten over the 2,000 metres at Sha Tin, and was able to win in Class 4 2 starts ago. As you said, short run to the first turn, and he has a wide gate. Yeah,
so that's a little bit of a problem. Same with Storm Winner out of this race. But I like Jubilation. He finishes off really nicely in those green sleeves. He runs 3rd in the end, and he's got a low draw. I think he can get a little bit closer in the run and just in behind. And I like the way he finished off this particular race. So of these ones, he's the one I'm going to include, the one running 3rd, and that's Jubilation.
Keith has a good record on the horse. Sharp and Bright has raced well since then, of course. Also, Joyful Prosperity took an age to win his first race. He had to go down to Class 5 to do it. He did it impressively, and we've seen plenty of them drop down to Class 5 and then make their way back through the grades. What of him, though?
Yeah, I'll put him in, but not on top, because like he'd always threatened to do this in Class 4. Now he's got that confidence with this win under his belt, then he's more than capable, I think, of winning in Class 4. So he's going to go in as well. Yeah, you're right. Horses like him and Arthur's Kingdom, same profile. They've dropped down to Class 5. They get back up to Class 4. A horse like Red Majesty did it, didn't he?
Yep.
And he went right through that.
He's been a marvellous Red Majesty. So that is a breakdown of the 4th. Who runs the strongest 2,000, Arthur?
Yeah, well, I think Arthur's going to be in front. He's by Camelot, obviously, with the name Arthur's Kingdom. And I think he can lead and then win. So I've got him on top. Jubilation can sit in behind him. Joyful Prosperity and Charity Gain with the extra weight, they can run on. I think we've covered them all well. 14-9-8-1.
So Paul with Arthur's Kingdom to carry on his good form and win the first leg of the Triple Trio. Race number 5 is the running of the time-honoured Panasonic Warm Jar Handicap, and it's over the 1,650 metres, and Mojave Desert is on the class drop. True Genius has the hood off, and the tongue tie also is removed. Forever Folks racing well. Jumbo Fortune appears more than the race-by-race preview. Blinkers off, pacifiers with cows go on him. XL Wong Choi was good after racing wide last time. Atomic Beauty, second start on the all-weather, and Never Peter Out. He's a last start winner on the all-weather and carries an extra £7 for it. We've got a leader here, Paul, of Highland Rahi.
Yeah, he likes to lead. He should go forward. Atomic Beauty can get himself into a nice position. Foremost City likes to go forward, but drawn wide. Viva Hunter likes to go forward. XL Wong Choi. Never Peter Out, came off the pace last time. Mojave Desert's up and trip, but I think he'll still try and take some cover, and the other 3 will have to go back.
Forever Folks is our focus first of all. Here's Nick with his jockey, Ben Thompson.
Ben Thompson, race 5 on Saturday is the Panasonic Warm Jar Handicap. I'm not sure if you've got one of those, but you do have a ride in the race, and it's Forever Folks, a horse who you've got a decent association with, though I guess he gives you a bit of a headache, does he?
Yeah, you can say you're definitely on your riding fee on him, Nick. He's been a model of consistency. He hasn't missed the top 3 in his last 4 starts, and he generally you head to the races with confidence riding him, knowing that he's going to give his best. You just have to be, obviously, if you're fit, there's no issues. And he takes quite a bit of encouragement. But hey, he's obviously Michael Chang, Mr. So, and the team have really worked him out well, and now reaping the rewards with him.
Just on sort of working him out with a horse like him, obviously, you're fully aware of what he's capable of and his running style. I mean, it is noticeable that he is one of the first off the bit, but he always seems to find late on. How do you sort of approach a ride like that, Ben? Do you just sort of leave a lot to circumstance, perhaps?
Yeah, I found a couple of things which he seems to enjoy more, or which can help him travel. Funnily enough, he's a horse that, given his best form's been on the all-weather track, there's, as a rule, quite a bit of kickback. He tends to race better in amongst horses, so I've been crying out for a low draw. Barrier 6 isn't too bad tomorrow, as it's only the second time he's drawn inside 7 in his last 8 starts. So I'm not complaining there. It's better than 7 or wider that he's been having. But if he finds the rail, he tends to travel a bit better. And it's just the closer you can be on him, the less ground he has to make up. It's the rule goes that you need your horses to travel, though. Him travelling is generally, I think, him thinking about what's for dinner and getting too far out of his ground and having too much to do. So it's, you find if you keep him on the job, yes, it looks like you're irritating him, though he will, still kick off that. So hopefully we can be able to a good run. He runs against similar opposition that he's been taking on, and it'd be nice for him to get back in the winner's stall.
Yeah, certainly you do sort of meet the same sort of horses in these types of races. There are a couple that can go forward, so I guess with a bit of pace there predicted, does that help you?
For sure, and I think the beauty of it, the way barriers have been distributed, most of the speed's drawn on my inside, so I'm hoping that speed does present. We can come across behind that speed, and most of those horses are the better of the chances. So, hey, he's as you know, the race complexion on the all-weather, 1650 on the all-weather is generally pretty similar. So hopefully, the field's opening up. I'm getting space coming to the home straight, and can let him run on as he does well. So he's won 2 of his last. He won 2 back, and hasn't been far away in his 2 before that, and his start after. So may he be able to go 2 better again.
There is Ben Thompson on Forever, folks. Paul, we move on to Jumbo Fortune, who he just doesn't want to run past the leader, does he? He's very consistent, he picks up checks, but he just doesn't want to run past that first horse.
He doesn't he? He's a one-time winner from 42 starts, and that sort of tells the story with him. Look, he's hard to leave out in the place like that, because he runs some pretty good races. He's drawn nicely in 5, and he does come onto the surface for the first time. So, look, I'm going to include him on a minor line.
He's placed 2 from 3 for the new stable. 6-day turnaround for him. That's California Totality just holding him there last weekend. On we go now to Never Peter Out, who was a last start winner on the all-weather. Atomic Beauty 4th, Viva Hunter 9th, and Only You. He makes some minor late ground, but maybe not as much as thought at his first go at 1650.
Yeah, exactly. Look, 1 start, 1 win for Never Peter Out on the all-weather. 1 start, 1 win over the course and distance, over the distance as well. So I thought it was a strong win from him, because he was wide most of the way. Look, I've got him in as the Quinella horse. I think he's really found his home here on the surface, and he did trial well numerous times before racing on it, and he's come out to this, and he was a decent price when he won as well.
He sure was. So that's Never Peter Out. We move on now, Paul, to Foremost Teddy, who's been beaten favourite at his last few starts. They've been across at Happy Valley. Plus Zach Purton sticks, and all 3 runs back this time in. He's placed, looking to win his first race at his first appearance on the all-weather.
One thing in his favour is the breeding. He's by Fastnet Rock out of Uncle Momere, so there's plenty of American breeding going through him. The one thing that did put me off a little bit was the draw. He's drawn barrier number 11. He just might have to work to get across, but I think he's probably on the right surface.
Now, we could have just jumped past all of those replays and gone straight to your on-top selection.
Yeah, look, I like this horse. I'm going to go way back here to June last year, just to show what this horse can do in the all-weather, because he's having his first start. He's been downgraded, he's been running over shorter distances, and now he steps up to 1650. Now, in this trial, that's California Totality. There's also Mr. Energia, who came out and was very impressive when he won his first race in the all-weather. Now, watch Mojave Desert here in those brownish colours. He just managed to get through. Sky Song's been racing well. well as well, and he just poked through and just asked to go through that gap, and he quickened really well. He's downgraded. Hopefully he's a prize going to make him the long shot.
You've delved deep into the archives for this one.
Yeah, I have. Look, I think he can win at a price. Mojave Desert, Luke Ferraris aboard. He's on top, never peter out, forever, folks. We heard from Ben Thompson there and Jumbo Fortune. 111.35.
And that is the preview for the fifth, the first leg of the 6 Up. Good race, race number 6. It's down the 1,000 metre straight course at Sha Tin, and we have a Class 2 with WizKid at the top of the book. Hugh Bowman and Tony Cruz combined with him. Wunderbar comes back to a distance he's unbeaten at. 2 for 2. Bundle of Charm, first time 1,000 for him. Magic Control, Group 3 placed in the National Day Cup last start. Dancing Code's a 2-time winner over 1,200 metres, but placed once down the straight. And I Give second up. All of his wins have been over 1,200 metres. WizKid Paul is the leader.
Yeah, look, he's got the speed, hasn't he? Magic Control. I Give now, he leads over 1,200, but if you delve back in his 1,000-metre races, he doesn't lead. He just hasn't got that speed as some of these other ones have. Magic Control's got plenty of speed. Wunderbar, Tomodachi Kokoro, Packing Treadmill, Wonder Kid, Bundle of Charm, and I think Dancing Code, even though he's drawn 14, he'll be at the back. Drawing the outside, drawing 9.
Quite weak. Been delving back to I Give, back to the trials for that one in the previous. What about Wunderbar? Does he just line up and win?
Looks like it, doesn't it? He looks a very exciting horse, does Wunderbar. So we can see that here now, and this is up with Bottom Up Together, who's going to be in our feature race, race number 7, the Panasonic Cup. But look, this horse has just been going strength to strength. He's been beaten once, and that was by Mugen, who's in the group racing coming up next weekend. So he's an exciting type, Wunderbar. He'll be $1.20. You know, I think he's going to be something like that, maybe even less. But the way he's been going, I think bad luck will beat him.
He deserves that $1.20 quote with the potential he has shown. Now, this is back to Happy Valley. We're going to pick the replay up of the start at the 1,200 and just see what Tomodachi Kokoro does. There he is from his wide draw. Dancing Code goes back. Tomodachi Kokoro is a horse that has won all of his races at Happy Valley and all over the 1,200 metres. He's had 2 goes over the 1,000 at the Valley, and you can see here, Paul, the amount of work he has done early. Straight course for the first time at Sha Tin. It was a big effort to stay on after this, but he bumps into some very nice horses again this week.
Yeah, look, it would be a surprise if he won. I mean, he was wide all the way and still won, but this is his favourite course and distance. And if he can't get any of the lead over 1,200 metres, coming to the straight 1,000, it's going to be a bit of a problem. I can see him running a very minor position, but that'll be it for him.
Wait for the Valley at 1,200?
Yeah.
That is Tomodachi Kokoro. The last 2, though, Magic Control. He is proven over the 1,000 metres, as is WizKid, who runs 3rd. He's had a trial. WizKid ran 5th behind Drombeg Banner and dropped off up at Chung Fa, which is normally a good sign leading into race day for him.
Yeah, exactly. And the one thing with WizKid is he lost a bit of momentum going through that gap there. So I think he can turn the tables here on Magic Control. I think these are the 2 biggest dangers to Wunderbar. And one thing about WizKid is he has drawn the inside gate. So I think they'll just go forward and try and get to that outside rail. And he can be a good horse in front with WizKid. He has been over the years. He's pretty speedy.
He is, and loves the 1,000 metres, but they're playing for minors realistically here.
Looks that way, doesn't it? On paper anyway, but we know that doesn't always work out to be the case. Wunderbar, WizKid, Magic Control, Tomodachi Kokoro, 3, 1, 6 and 5.
Easy as that. Zach Pert and John Sires to combine to take a very, very good race, race number 6. This is a race. It's the Panasonic Cup, and this is a field and a half here. The golden scenery at the top of the book is on the class drop. Drombeg Banner unbeaten 2nd up. We've got Young Champion, who's won 2 from 3. Bottom Up Together has a tongue tie on. Sunlight Power unlucky last time. Green and White is a 4-time course and distance winner. Packing Hermod comes up in grade, having won all 3 starts. Ruby Lott's in great form. Harmony Great makes his Hong Kong debut. He was a 2-time winner in Brazil prior to arriving. We've got Drombeg Banner and Bottom Up Together sharing the lead, Paul.
Bromberg Banner stole the race last time, got his own way in front. That's not going to happen here. Bottom up together, we'll put some pressure on him. If he doesn't, Superb Boy will. Packing Hermod. He's been a slightly slow away, but he picked up his speed pretty quickly. Supreme Lucky might have to go forward from his wide draw. Ruby Light, Green and White should get his opportunity. Golden Scenery 6-pack, and the rest, the 4, will go back. I think Young Champion has to go back from his wide draw. Choo Spirit will look for cover.
We'll go forward now to the rider of the likely leader in the race, Nick, with Andrea Retzani.
Andrea, the Panasonic Cup is our feature on Saturday, race 7. You're going to jump aboard Drombeg Banner, a horse you've got a good association with, who once again just continued to sort of pull something out the fire last time and get the win. He was good.
Yeah, no, he's a tough horse. He's a lovely ride. He's a forward-going horse that keeps finding. He was very tough the last day. Obviously, in his first run of the season, over 1400, he jumped and made all in. He just never looked back. And obviously, he's had a nice break since. I think he's had just over a month between races. He's trialled once since, and not looking forward to get back on him tomorrow.
Did you get any report on that trial? No, you didn't ride him, but that was up at Chung Fa. He did manage to win it.
Yeah, no, obviously I didn't. I just watched the trial, and he trialled quite nicely. It wasn't asked too much, but hit the line quite strongly. And it's a horse that runs well fresh, so yeah.
He does indeed, and actually his second up record, 2 from 2. So the fact he's had that run, he's had a nice trial, he's clearly in good form. He certainly comes into the race in probably the best possible shape, doesn't he?
He does, yeah, and the track should be quite comfortable for him, and he's got a nice draw, but as you know, it's a very, very competitive race.
It is fiercely competitive indeed, and your guy obviously now up to a career high of 95. I guess, Andrea, with a horse like him who just always gives everything in his races, I mean, you'd be hard pushed to say where the ceiling is, but I suppose the higher he goes, the harder it does get.
Of course, like you said, there's only his highest mark. I think the handicap put him up £6, which is never easy, and but he's a tough horse. Pierre's horses are flying. But you can make a case, if you go through the race, you can make a case of every single horse in it. It's a very, very competitive race. There's a lot of up-and-coming horses with a lightweight. He's got to give some weight to some of these, like I say, these younger horses. And you go through the field, and you can, out of 14, you can make a case out of all of them. I think it's going to be a very interesting race, and anything can win it. But hopefully, it's mine.
Yeah, he's a good rider to have. And just finally, obviously, gate number 3 for him as well. Obviously, same gate as last time.
Yeah, correct. Listen, everybody knows it's a one-way, so pretty much one way to ride him. He's jumps and goes, and he usually keeps going. So hopefully, he does that again tomorrow.
There's Andrea on Drombeg Banner, but there's a stack to look at here, Paul, and rightly so with the talent of this field. We'll start with Bottom Up Together, who was beaten last time, but the horse that beat him has also beaten Kaying Rising, and his name is Wunderbar.
Yeah, exactly, and only been beaten once, and that was by Mugen. So this horse has had 5 starts, 3 wins, 2 seconds. He's basically a horse, I think he's still got plenty of rating points in hand. Quite an exciting horse, this one. So, look, he's drawn 10, but I think he can get across and then just sit outside Drombeg Banner. And, look, he was coming back a bit on Wunderbar at the end here as well, so he never gave it away. So, look, I don't mind him. Atala McGill, he finished quite well back. I mean, his chances if they overcook it.
Yeah. All right, on to our next one, which is Green and White. He's a nice horse in his own right, and he's a last start winner. Loves the 1400 metres, only fairly lightly raced still. 11 starts, 4 wins and 4 seconds to date.
Yeah, so he's another one that's been going well. I mean, he comes in on the minimum, like Bottom Up Together. They only have to carry 115, these horses, or carded weight. Matthew Poon will probably put a couple over, but... And saying that, look, the horse is going well at the moment. He's definitely another one of the chances. Barrier number 2. This is a lot tougher, and he is second up after that tongue laceration. So, look, he didn't quite get in, but you wouldn't be surprised if he won.
Speaking of winning, that's all Packing Hermod has done so far. He's coming up in grade for the first time. 3 for 3, but this by far his biggest test on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, unbeaten, this horse. So you don't know where his ceiling is. Barrier 9 could be a little bit sticky, but I think Hewitson can get the horse sort of just in behind the pace. And if he does, he's going to have his opportunity once again. So, look, he won at Happy Valley, and then he's come to Sha Tin, and both those wins have been very good here at Sha Tin. And he did win with a little bit in hand here. So, look, he definitely goes in. I've got him as the Quinella horse, actually.
So he's in for second behind Bottom Up Together. He's in this replay also is Bottom Up Together. This is the day that he was beaten, the first time he was beaten. The horse that rolled him is Ruby Lot. He'd been racing well. How does he figure going into this week's race?
Yeah, well, he's definitely has to go in as well. The course and distance isn't a problem for him for the 1400 as well. But they just went a little bit quick here and bottom up together. It was a little bit vulnerable late. He was there to be shot at, and that's exactly what did happen with the Ruby Lot. Here, Ruby Lot, bottom up together was going to win by 2 lengths, but Ruby Lot really stretched out here and hit the line really nicely. So, look, he has to go in again. He's just a horse. He's in rare form at the moment.
So we pick up off that replay to your selections with bottom up together on top.
Yeah, I'm going to go with him. I do like him bottom up together, so I think he can win. He can beat Packing Hermod and Ruby Lot. Going to put Young Champion in on the minor line, stepping up to 1400 metres. Has had that run under his belt in a wet track over 12. He's a lot better suited over 14. 6, 11, 12, 5.
It's a terrific field for race number 7. Start time for the Panasonic Cup is 4:05. And race number 8 now, the preview for this one. It is a Class 4 over the 1400 metres. Runs on the class drop. Blinkers go back on. Fashion Legend wears a crossover noseband for the first time. Jubilant Winner has placed his last 2. Deal completed. He won last start. Legend St Paul's has the cheek pieces added to him. Sky Deep has his first start. Everything goes up in distance, and Masterstroke resumes and has had 2 trials prior to the resumption, Paul.
Yeah, look, Nebraskan's been going forward and leading. Deal completed, set up really slow sectionals when he won his last time when he was in front. Don't think he'll get that luxury in this. Legend St Paul's just had the 1 run, ran a placing, was a good run from him. Sunny the Best, like he's led when he won his race, but he's gone back recently. I think he'll try and put himself into the race, and Gold Master will need some luck from his rule.
Jubilant Winner is in our first replay. Loomed up to win this race, and then Stella Swift was able to get out and nab him. He's raced well since. Stella Swift up in grade. Strathpeffer covers some ground, stays on for 5th, gets a better draw here. And there's Sunny the Best, who's on the outside of the 3 out of this race, into this race.
Yeah, and I think he'll get a better run and he'll strip a bit fitter. So we'll see him get a lot closer in the run, I think. Jubilant Winner looks one of the main chances. I think there's 2 main chances in this race, and he's one of them. Look, he's the winner waiting to happen. Just nabbed late, as you said, by Stella Swift, who's gone on and run well once again. And he did win a little bit cheekily, but Jubilant Winner was well clear of anything else.
We'll find out who the other one is shortly. Deal completed, as you mentioned, led up on a slow time last time, and there's a wall chasing him, but in the end, he just was able to get that too good a run in front and hold them all at bay. What about the race this week?
Yeah, I mean, the first 600, I think they ran a second slower than standard. So he was entitled to sprint off the front, and he did, and he held on. But when you look at the wall of horses chasing him, they finish in such a bunch. He's not going to get that luxury in this race at all. So, look, I'm going to leave him out.
No deal completed for Paul, as you can see them closing in, but all too late. Legend St Paul's has had 1 start. Here he is running second in it. Fashion Legend disappoints. He trialled well leading into this race. Legend St Paul's, a member of the Frankie Law stable with Derek Long aboard.
Yeah, this is the one I think is the main danger. The cheek pieces, tongue tie go on. Drawn nicely in barrier number 1 with Derek aboard, and this horse is finishing off really strongly here behind wind speed. It was a good run from him with the experience under his belt. He looks like he's going to be close to winning, I think. So, look, the 2 main chances I thought were Legend St Paul's and Jubilant Winner.
Which means at best we're playing for a place for Fight Time, who ran second at his resuming run. He comes from about midfield on the rail here. Carries a light weight of 119 pounds. He was beaten 1 1/4 behind the Smart Mastermind. Fitter horse. Did enough here to grab your attention?
Yeah, definitely. He goes into the numbers for sure. This is the best run we've seen from him from 7 starts. He was a big price. He was over 20 to 1 this day. Drawn well on 6 and comes in with a light weight. So, look, I think he can run another good race. You can see him finishing off strongly enough here. So maybe the pennies dropped with him.
Strong field that he was in there too. But Legend St Paul's for you.
Yeah, 7 to beat 5, 5 to beat 7. I think that's the Quinella in the particular race. But I went with Legend St Paul's to beat Jubilant Winner, Fight Time. And Sunny the Best, look, he's capable on his day as well. 7, 5, 14 and 2.
Race 8, number 7 for Paul. Legend St Paul's to win the first leg of the late treble. Race number 9 is the running of the Panasonic 2-in-1 washer dryer. That's right, they come together. Wonder Star is on the class drop. Solid Impact has had 2 trials. Eris Nova's on debut. Savvy Brilliant's a last start winner, carries an extra £3. Blessed Nation has his first start in Hong Kong. Captain Win wears a tongue tie again. Storm Rider has the cheek pieces on. First starters Celestial Harmony, Charming Babe, and He Was Me. In Flying Fortress, Magnificent 9 race wide first up. Another one of your favourite races with lots of first starters in it.
Yeah, exactly. Flying Fortress has shown speed in his trials, along with Charming Babe. So I think both those two will go forward. Wonder Star, he's another one that likes to go forward as well. Eris Nova, another first starter. Storm Rider's finally got a barrier draw. Those draws have been 10, 14, 9, 9, 10. He's drawn 3. He'll be a little bit closer. Super Infinity and Savvy Brilliant all should get good runs. He Was Me. There was a He Was You earlier in the day, and now here's He Was Me.
Yeah, there was indeed. There's usually prawns and fortunes together, but there's He Was Me, He Was You. Here's Savvy Brilliant winning last time, Paul. He was pretty impressive too doing it. Captain wins second, Enterprise Attack third. Super Infinity made a mess of the start, but made up a lot of late ground in this race too.
Yeah, look, I can see this is the main form race for me for this one, and I quite like Savvy Brilliant. I think the pennies drop with him. This is only a second start. He can go on with it, and I think he'll win. So he goes in. The other horse is Enterprise Attack. It was a better run from him in the big white baldy face. So he's going to go in, and Super Infinity did everything wrong. So we'll throw him in as well. We only need to see 1 or 2 races.
There you go. Well, you can make another point around Super Infinity again because he's in this replay, as is Captain Win, as is Magnificent 9. This is race 118 that Super Infinity is in. So this is the start after he made a meal of the break. He was heavily back late in this too.
Yeah, look, he definitely goes in because there's definitely ability there with this horse, and he didn't get much room here. It was quite crowded. Great State was the grey on the inside. He managed to get through and eventually ran on really well. And of course, Packing Hermod that did win this race. He's in the feature race later on.
The Panasonic.
Earlier on.
Yep. So that's those two. One of the many first starters to look at is Charming Babe, who... He was known as Golden Image when trained by Steve O'Day and Matthew Hoisted. Won over the 1200 at Doomben at his second start. That was on a slow track. He's had 4 trials since he's been here. This one is up at Chung Fa. He runs second behind View of the World, who gets up the rail and wins it.
Look, he led all the way, Charming Babe, on that day as well at Doomben. 1107 pounds. He's had the 4 trials to get him ready. Look, I'm happy to watch him on his debut here in Hong Kong, but he has got a bit of early pace.
That is a breakdown of runners in race number 9, but we're going straight back to our first replay for the selections.
Basically, yeah, Savvy Brilliant will go on top there. I think he can win again. Storm Rider, he's finally got the draw. He's got barrier number 3. Cheek Pieces will go on him as well, so I think he's a good chance. Then Super Infinity and Enterprise Attack coming out of that same race as well. So 4, 7, 12 and 8, but I think Savvy Brilliant will win it.
Easy as that, Paul. Very keen on the 4 in race number 9. Sha Tin 10 on Panasonic Cup Day is the running of the Panasonic Thermo Ventilator Handicap, and Speed Dragon at the top of the book has won course and distance off a rating of 70. Ching's a 5-time course and distance winner. Sweet Encounter has the blinkers going back on. Pray for Mur was a winner 2 starts ago with £121. Silo raced wide last time. Star Mac hasn't been too far away. And then we go down to horses like Prince of Port. He's on a 6-day backup and having his first run over the 1,600 metres. Good field to finish the day, Paul.
Yeah, so he comes up in Prince of Port. So I think he'll go forward, get himself into a nice trail. Forward Samurai likes to lead though. Pray for Mur, he likes to go forward as well. Fun together. Turin Star Spangled will be looking for some cover. He's drawn wide. Silo was wide all the way last time. He'll get a better run. Fallon likes to get back. Star Mac is drawn the inside, but he's got no early gate speed.
He does not, unlike the horse that Frankie Law trains. Here is Nick with Frankie on Voyage Samurai.
Frankie, Voyage Samurai is a runner for you in the last race on Saturday. He's only had the 1 run so far this season. It was a pretty good return to action.
Yes, the only race 1 time I finished second, and this time the second start for him I think is should be better. Yeah.
He went forward last time, Frank. I mean, he and a co-leader were sort of a little way clear of the field. Was he just a little bit keen or a bit strong and maybe a bit fresh for his return there?
First start he worries and before he want to follow the girls, but the girls maybe jump a bit slow and then so our horse just go forward, and unfortunately the girls can't hold the horse, so the pace a little bit quick for him, and but I think finally he finished second. I think it's good, yeah.
Yeah, it almost looked like he sort of got dragged into the race. But I mean, he was giving a bit of weight to the winner last time as well. He's better off at the weights with Pray for Mer this time around. So he certainly looks well handicapped with that horse, doesn't he?
Yes, he's a big horse. I think he's okay, and also give him a trial last week, and he's feel good, yeah.
I don't want to ask you about that trial. I mean, it was a strong trial field, and I mean, he sort of held his own with them, didn't he? I mean, he looked pretty good in the trial.
Yeah, he looked pretty good, yes. And, we trial just only 1,200. For him, it's a little bit short. But anyway, he's trial good, yeah.
He's a 5-year-old, Frankie, with not many miles on the clock. I mean, there might just be a bit more still to come from this guy, is there?
Yes. To see how it's going, I hope he can win the race for the owners, because he's quite consistent, this horse. And if he can win, we can go up to Class 2, maybe still have a race for him, yeah.
That is Frankie on Voyage Samurai. Now, there's 1,000 of them to look at in this replay, Paul. We'll just leave it up to you. Who do you want to talk about? And that's not a graphic that is incorrect. The 2-second Starmac and Fallon, they did heat at the end for the Miners.
Yep, so Starmac, obviously, and Turin Star Spangled are the two I'm going to take out of it. Turin Star Spangled, he managed to get across here. Fun Together, the leader, he drops out, but he's drawn wide as well. So I think Turin Star Spangled will be trying to get some cover off him. But you can see Starmac now, he finishes off this race really well, finishing up through the middle there. And look, he's a winner waiting to happen, definitely. But this race really changed complexity late.
It did it what? Massive change at the finish there, as you can see. One more to have a look at, and this is Silo running fourth. Prince of Porty is up outside them, turning for home. He stays on for second. Amazing Victory sixth, and Speed Dragon off a high rating of 79.
Solo was wide all the way, so he definitely had clear excuses here. He should get a lot better run from barrier number 6. Prince of Porty's, look, up to 1,600 metres. He did win down the straight, this horse. So I'm not sure what to expect over 1,600, but if he gets a nice run sort of in behind them, then maybe he can run the 16 and be tough to beat. But Silo really caught the eye finishing off there, didn't he?
An amazing Victory running out of room a little bit late. Also, there's some great racing on Saturday afternoon. This one's right up there too.
Yeah, good one to finish, actually. But I think Voyage Samurai can win. We heard from Frankie Law there. He's on top to beat Starmac. Turin Star Spangled just need a bit of luck from his draw, and Silo finishing off strongly like he did in that previous replay we just saw. So 3, 9, 5 and 8 in the last.
Follow Frankie, you'll have pennies in your hanky for Paul with Voyage Samurai for race number 10. That has been the Race by Race preview. Panasonic Cup Day starts at 1 o'clock.